And welcome to everyone joining us right now on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, wherever you are in the world. Wonderful to have you in our meditative circle. I am still, as you can tell from the background, in France. I'll start my travels back to the US at the end of the week. And should be home by next Monday. Hopefully before that. Unless they let me pilot the plane, in which case, I don't know when I'll be back. We're going to give this another minute before we start. There's a few people still joining on Zoom. In the meantime, you know what to do. You can close your eyes. And turn your attention to the breath. We're going to start today right off the bat with a threefold Shalom chant. And with the chant, we allow the energies of wholeness, energies of peace, of harmony to fill our being. That every cell of our physical self might be nourished by the vibrations of the chant. That we may be healed. That we may be made whole. And as we take a few more breaths, mindfully, we take these first few seconds to relax and let go completely. To surrender into the moment. To let gravity do its job. Feeling every limb heavy, pulled down, surrendered. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to grab. We maintain a straight spine that we might breathe easily, but we can let go of everything else. The muscles of the belly, the muscles of the face, to be completely relaxed. I feel sometimes when I drop into those kind of deep, relaxing spaces, first, as you can hear, it's getting harder to articulate words, but I feel emotions arising. It is as if the nervous shell of the body, the shield of stress, of perhaps fear, whatever causes us to tense, when the shield is down, emotions are allowed to float up. It's often different emotions every time. Right now, for me, it's a little sadness that I feel. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm not looking for positive emotions versus negative emotions. In fact, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just present to what is and acknowledging and naming sadness. I don't want it to go away. I feel into the sensations that come with the feeling, the emotion in the body as well, the throat, the belly. And I just let it be. It's right there. I can taste it. And I acknowledge its presence. Sadness is here. There is sadness arising. I don't seek to tell stories about it. I don't seek to figure out why. I don't seek to create stories about where it might come from, what has happened today or yesterday, or because all that moves me away from the now of the experience. And it's just stories, get nothing to do with truth. I can make up a ton of stories of why sadness may be arising right now. Beautiful stories. I could convince you of 1,000 different stories. But that's not what meditation is. Meditation is just to be with what is. And in fact, to drop all attempts at explaining. There is sadness. There is heaviness. Observing it with a little bit of curiosity, trying to feel into the most subtle expressions of that sadness, physically and obviously emotionally as well. A little constriction in the throat. There's like a little dot that if I were to color it would be a white. A little knot in the belly. Or at least a sensation of pressure. That's the practice. I'm staying with the breath and I'm observing. There is no thought coming. As long as I can focus on the breath and the feeling and the sensations around the feeling, somehow it's so quiet around that. Of course, I'm not telling stories, so that's probably why. And that might be more difficult for some. But I believe after a little practice of meditation, when we've taught ourselves to sharpen the mind, to sharpen awareness, as we do sometimes one-pointed exercises, then when awareness settles on a sensation or settles on an emotion, as it is the case for me right now, and may be the case for you right now, you might be mirroring something happening for you right now. Or maybe not, makes no difference. Whatever is there is there. But you might start to notice, we've been practicing together for a year. But when awareness is one-pointed, when we are really looking at one sensation, one emotion, and we're not engaging the mind, that's the key. We're not involved with whatever the stories the mind would like to tell about the moment and the experience, kind of the inner narrator. When we're not trying to make sense, explain away, rationalize, try to put this feeling, this sensation in a box, contextualize it with the greater narrative of today, of our life. Then we notice that everything goes quiet. There's just this awareness. And the object of awareness. I often call it content. And we let that content arise as if on the screen of awareness. We are sitting in the movie theater and we are observing whatever is arising on the screen. And this little distance, this little freedom between content and awareness, which in fact, as we practice further and go deeper, we'll find out eventually dissolves. But that is the first step, to create a little bit of that distance, though illusory it might be. To actually find the silence. So whatever that has been for you, maybe you did not notice an emotion, but maybe you've been working right now with a sensation somewhere, or maybe just with the breath. That's a perfect sensation to be focusing on. Maybe through my words you've been able to relate. And maybe not, maybe this will be that meditation this week where you feel agitated, when it's hard for you to just be present. And that's okay. It has to be okay, because that too is content. That too is arising. And so if you find yourself agitated, if the mind is racing today, just notice it. And just as awareness, let that arise. And just notice for yourself, agitated. Just like I might have called sadness. You can call up agitated, distracted. It's the same. I really would like you to understand and see that it's the same. I often see thought as just another version of sensations. They're mind sensations. They arise just as sensations, physical sensations arise within awareness on the screen. The vast, immense screen of awareness. So if this exercise today is torture for you, name that. Torture, feeling of torture is arising. And just let that be. It's okay. It's what is. That is practice. Maybe the sensations you're noticing is excruciating pain. So call it excruciating pain, but don't engage. I've sat for hours of meditation where most of my experience was excruciating pain. Sometimes when you sit too long. But then, if you're able to let go of not wanting the pain, of wishing the pain to go away, just as happened to me, you will notice that it will disappear. You might have been sitting in pain for 2 hours, as happened to me, and then in 2 hours and 1 minute, it'll be gone. And then you can sit for another 2 hours pain-free. Why? Because you've allowed it. You've created spaciousness. You've stopped resisting life. You've stopped resisting experience. You've observed content as content, not as you. You are that which is always aware. So keep that practice. Stay with the breath. Don't try to, again, manipulate the breath. Just let the breath breathe as it needs to breathe. Natural flow of the breath, natural rhythm. Of course, as soon as I say that, oftentimes the mind goes into gear and tries to control the breath. Relax, relax, relax. So choose one object, maybe an emotion like me today, maybe one sensation, maybe this experience of feeling distracted, agitated, whatever that is. And just say yes. Whatever it is, say yes. I see you. I know you. I love you. And perhaps you have noticed during your meditation that as you were observing whatever emotion, sensation that might have shifted, changed. Sadness perhaps was there for a while and then left. This sensation was there for a while and then disappeared, and then another one came up. Everything is always in flux, always changing. Nothing ever remains stagnant, fixed, and the same. And that may be a powerful insight to glimpse sometimes through our meditations as well. But for now, I'm going to invite you to let go of your practice, to take a couple of deeper breaths, and perhaps stretch the body if you feel the need to do so. Closing this time together with a threefold Shalom chant, dedicating our practice to all beings. Kol bnei Adam arevim ze beze. All human beings are interconnected, belong to the great tapestry of oneness. And may the little bit of wholeness, perhaps, of harmony, of inner peace, a little bit of shalom we might have found through our meditation, may that be shared with all of them, wherever they are. Modani, thank you.
Modani.
Modani.
Modani, thank you. Thank you.
Modani. Thank you, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Danny, see you tomorrow.
Thank
See
you,
you
Rabbi.
tomorrow.
See you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
everybody. Have a great day.
And I'll send you that email.
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. I love you.
You're welcome. We'll see everybody tomorrow.